In the first week of its release, Microsoft made a smart move by selling the entire 1989 album for just 99 cents on its new platform, Music Deals. On the other hand, Taylor's label, Big Machine, decided not to release 1989 on streaming services to boost sales. Yet, Spotify disagreed and listed the songs anyway, with a statement suggesting Taylor wasn't considering her followers on the platform. But beyond the company's comment, Taylor Swift disagreed with how Spotify paid royalties to artists sharing their music on the platform. You see, Spotify introduced a 3-month free system to attract more users, impacting artists as they received no royalties during this time. After some words were exchanged, Big Machine removed all of Taylor's music from Spotify. But 3 years later, after selling 10 million copies of 1989, she wanted to thank her fans by making her entire catalog available again on platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. Yes, it was a bold move, but Taylor always showed herself to be one step ahead in the industry. She emphasized that her music involved great effort, and it was necessary to fairly compensate not only her, but also those behind the song production, like writers, producers, and creators. Later on, Spotify improved its royalty model a bit. Funny enough, the 2023 Spotify Wrapped designated Swift as the most listened to artist of the year on the platform, with over 26.1 billion streams. Taylor was now firmly established as one of pop's biggest stars, but she was not done expanding creatively. In 2017, she released a darker, more club-influenced album called Reputation in response to media scrutiny of her love life. Reputation sold 1.2 million copies in its first week, taking the top spots on charts worldwide. Its massively successful supporting tour grossed over $345 million, becoming one of the highest-grossing tours in history. As her music successes mounted, Taylor also proved herself a savvy businesswoman. In 2018, she decided to part ways with Big Machine Records, whom she had been signed with since the beginning of her career. However, a battle soon erupted over ownership of Swift's master recordings. Big Machine sold Swift's catalog to talent manager Scooter Braun in 2019, without her consent. This ignited a public feud that highlighted industry-wide issues of artist ownership and control. She tried to have a dialogue with Braun to settle the dispute, but he sold the catalog to a private investment fund in 2020. So Swift decided to re-record her songs to take back control. By re-recording these albums, Taylor is putting them out again in her own way. This also means she gets to keep all the earnings from the new versions. In fact, Forbes reported that Swift made an incredible $52 million by 2021 with the Taylor's versions of her albums. Ultimately, this move is a big deal in the music world. It tells other artists that it's possible to break away from the control of major record labels over their own music. It's like a push to stand up for creative rights, which inspires musicians for years to come. After that, in 2019, Taylor dropped Lover. It had songs like The Archer and Miss Americana and The Heartbreak Prince, which kicked off the release of her Netflix documentary. Then, in the following year, with the pandemic keeping us all indoors, Taylor released 2 more albums, Folklore and Evermore. These albums brought in a significant $23.8 million in 2020 alone, with Taylor estimated to take home 46% of the royalties from sales and streaming, thanks to owning the masters. You do the math. As of 2022, she wrapped things up, at least for now, with Midnights, which sold 6 million units worldwide in its first 2 months. Following this release, Swift amassed an estimated $230 million in record sales. According to Universal Music Group, Taylor is the only artist with 5 albums that sold over 1 million units during release week. In 2023, Taylor kicked off her biggest project yet, the Eras Tour, her 6th global tour, and the first since 2018. Over the past 5 years, Taylor has released 4 studio albums and 4 re-recordings, creating plenty of material to build excitement for any tour. Now, economically speaking, Swift's concerts are more than just a show. They act as an engine of the economy. The impact of her concerts is so visible that even the US Federal Reserve mentions it in their reports. After Taylor's concerts in Philadelphia, the city's Federal Reserve noted that despite slow tourism recovery, May marked the strongest month for hotel revenues in Philadelphia since the pandemic began, mainly due to the surge in attendees at Taylor Swift's concerts. The same thing happened in Chicago, where after Taylor Swift's visit, they broke the record for hotel occupancy in the city's entire history. Over that whole weekend, they filled 44,000 rooms, bringing in a huge $39 million in earnings for the city's hotels. Because of all this, hosting a Taylor Swift concert went from just being an artistic experience to boosting the entertainment scene and becoming an economic driver that nobody wants to miss out on. Today, Forbes estimates Swift's personal net worth at over $1.1 billion, making her one of the richest solo female artists and entertainers in the world. She owns highly lucrative publishing, record, and merchandising rights across her entire discography due to re-recording her masters. With savvy business investments and ownership of her masters, nearly all profits from her artistry flow directly back to her. She connects deeply with her Swifties fans worldwide through friendship bracelets and understands the business from the inside out. But at only 34, Taylor Swift is just getting started and will likely continue dominating pop culture and music industry for many years to come.